This is an exclusive excerpt from the Stuff File program with Peter Anthony Holder.
Josh Nalley is a man who has posed as a dead body on TikTok well over 300 times. Known as Living Dead Josh, this most interesting hobby has garnered a decent following and even caught the eye of producers at the TV series CSI Vegas. While Josh hasn't reached the point where he can make a living playing dead, he has received a fair amount of attention. Josh joins us via Zoom from Kentucky. Hi, Josh.
Hello. How are you?
Just tickety-boo. Thanks very much for being on the program with us. So I had a chance to see a lot of pictures of you acting dead, but I've also seen you in makeup on CSI. So again, kudos for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How did this all come about with the hobby of being Living Dead Josh?
It came out of boredom, just trying to figure out something to do on my free time and trying to, chase that 15 minutes of fame that everybody chases.
You've done it over 300 times. Have the scenarios that you put on TikTok, have they become more elaborate as time goes on? What was your first one like, and what was your 300th like?
The first one was me in a creek with my dogs, like me just propping my phone up against a rock and me laying there and trying to hold my breath. The 300 one, I've started using a little bit more equipment. Sometimes I bring my friends in to help me. I don't know if you'd say more elaborate, more cognizance of where I'm laying and the background.
Speaking of friends and family, what do you friends and family think of this hobby? What do they think when they started, and when you started rather, and what do they think now that there's a certain amount of fame and notoriety from this?
The support has been amazing from my friends and family. They love it. They didn't really know when I first started. It wasn't until like the first one that went viral, which was Thanksgiving last year, that they knew about it. And then even then, I didn't really tell them. It was their kids that was telling them that it was going viral. But the support has been overwhelming. A lot of them have helped me out on videos, or, we joke about it when we get together too.
What was the reaction and what was your internal feeling when you first went viral with this? I mean, first of all, did you anticipate that this would happen? And if not, what was that feeling like when you realized a lot of people are looking at these?
It was a bit of disbelief. I think in the first day, that first one that went viral, I think it did 1 million views. So there's a lot of, a little bit of disbelief there and some elation. Like I said, I didn't really tell anybody because it was one of those things that I was just keeping to myself at the time. But yeah, it is a real elation that people were connecting with it.
Well, you said it started out of boredom, but beyond that fact, I mean, what made you decide that playing dead was the way to put boredom aside?
Well, I figured it was probably the easiest way I could get onto a movie or TV show without actually having to do much work, or at least I thought at the time. It's been a lot of work. I didn't see anybody else doing it on TikTok. I figured it was a niche that I could fill.
So in other words, your goal was to get into movies or television in some way, shape, or form, and you thought this was your in?
I thought so, yeah, and it worked. So I filled that niche.
I've had a chance to look at a lot of your pictures, lying on your back, lying on your stomach, eyes closed, eyes open. How difficult is it for you to keep your eyes open long enough to play dead?
That's not very hard. I'm pretty good at winning a staring contest, so that part's easy. It's the holding the breath that gets a little bit difficult sometimes, or laying in uncomfortable spots where like rocks are jabbing you in your side that gets hard.
I also noticed that, like me, you're a pretty big boy.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, is it a little more difficult to suppress your breathing so that your stomach doesn't move? I mean, have you mastered this act?
I'd like to think so. I mean, early on, I've gone back and looked at earlier TikToks and I've caught myself breathing, but the later ones, I think they're a lot better where you don't see any movement.
As I mentioned, you've got the attention of the folks from CSI Vegas. How did they reach out to you?
They reached out to me. They commented on one of my TikToks. I guess I kept on showing up on their For You page, and they had commented on one of my TikToks. And then a couple of days later, they emailed me and asked me if I'd be interested in playing a dead body on CSI Vegas.
And the episode of CSI Vegas, which is the first week of November, what was it like shooting your scenes?
It was interesting. I was in makeup for about 2 hours. They put a full chest piece on me to make it look like I had gone through an autopsy. We actually were filming my scene for about 5 hours with me laying on a metal gurney in a body bag. It was a fun time because all the actors, they were super nice. And the director, Mario Van Peebles, he was super nice. The whole crew was just very accommodating and like kept on checking on me and everything.
And since this is something you've done only once as far as for film and television is concerned, I mean, there are people out there who make a career out of being a dead body. Did you have any pointers from cast and crew, particularly the director, as to how you were doing on your first time out like this?
You know, the only really direction they gave me is like right before they called action, they would make sure that I took a deep breath.
And now that you've done CSI Vegas, what's next on the horizon for you?
I don't know, maybe another TV show or a movie, hopefully.
What kind of attention have you been getting? Because, I mean, I found a piece on you online. I've seen many news stories. You were on CNN. How has the attention been for you for what you've done?
It's been almost a little bit overwhelming. Like you said, CNN, the New York Post, I think talked to people in Australia and New Zealand and England. Yeah, so it's been a bit overwhelming, but welcomed.
Now, I understand that the folks at CSI Vegas didn't necessarily pay you for being a corpse. Did they at least fly you out, put you up, that kind of thing?
They did. They flew me out and paid for my flight and my hotel. And we went around Los Angeles and filmed TikToks for my channel. So I got to experience Los Angeles for the first time.
So now that you've had your day on the screen, are you getting an agent?
I don't think so. I don't think I need an agent just yet. I don't have enough calls coming in for that.
Are you getting any calls?
Not yet. Maybe they want to see my work first.
At the time that we're recording this, the show has not aired yet. By the time we air this program, the show will have aired. Are you having a big party to gather friends and family around to watch you on a slab?
Not a huge party. A couple close friends and a couple of my coworkers and stuff, because we're doing it at my work after we close that night. So not a huge party. It's probably maybe 15, 20 people.
Has the experience of doing this, will it enhance your future TikTok videos? I'm assuming you're going to continue doing more.
I plan on continue doing them. I don't know if it'll enhance. Like I don't plan to start doing my own makeup and everything. Maybe bring back a little bit of the gore that I kind of slowed down on in the early ones that I used to do.
In the over 300 that you've done, what's the easiest one to play dead in? What's the most difficult one to play dead in?
Oh, the easiest one to play dead in probably was I played dead in a hotel bed. So that was fairly easy. That, or I played dead in a bathtub with a shower curtain in front of me and only my arm hanging out. So I could actually breathe in that one. So most difficult one, I was chained up by my wrist at one point. So I was suspended by my wrist for a few minutes while I was recording. That one was kind of difficult and painful.
Also, I've seen others where you have your dogs walking around you. Are your dogs in the gig? I mean, do they understand what you're doing isn't real? And if they lick you, does it become a problem? Do you try to avoid those kind of movements or keep the dogs a certain distance away from you?
No, I like them in there. They have ruined a couple takes before, but I like them in there because it adds a little bit of realness. Because with my little foxhound, she always has a sad expression on her face, so I think it sells it well. Plus, they're always around, so if I'm filming in my own yard, then they're going to be there, especially if I'm laying on the ground, because they're like, oh, let's go see what he's up to.
While you were on the set of CSI, did it give you any opportunity, or were you allowed to have the opportunity to do another TikTok?
We did a couple on the set, yes.
One of my favorites is, I guess when you went to L.A., you were lying in front of the star of Marg Helgenberger?
Yes.
I understand it was a little hot on the sidewalk.
I mean, it's a black sidewalk in the middle of summer of July, so it was starting to burn my leg a little bit. I mean, nothing too bad, but I think we got it done right in the right amount of time for me to get back up and not have more than just a heat rash there. And
while you were doing it, because that's a pretty busy place, what were people saying or doing while you were lying there on her star or next to her star?
Luckily, I had two ladies helping me out, so they kind of acted as crowd control. But also, I don't think many people noticed or paid attention or cared that I was doing anything. They just kind of walk past you and not really pay attention to you.
A big guy lying on Marg Helgenberger's star and nobody pays any attention. What does that say about society?
Exactly.
And also, that is not the cleanest sidewalk in the world.
No, it's not. That's why I didn't go face down on it. Also, they had asked me to bring a towel, and I was in LA and a little bit scatterbrained at that time, so I forgot to bring a towel. Plus, I don't think too many people die on a towel, but, I did it for the TikTok.
Well, congratulations on an absolutely unique hobby, and congratulations on being on CSI.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on the program with us, Josh.
Thank you for having me.
Josh Nalley, a.k.a. Living Dead Josh. You can go to my website at thestufffile.com, check out the show number for this program, which is show number 0690, and you'll find the links to Josh's TikTok page. Those of you who didn't see his corpse debut on CSI Vegas, which was on November 3rd's episode entitled There's the Rub, you can probably catch it on demand.
You've just heard an exclusive excerpt from the Stuff File program with Peter Anthony Holder. To hear any or all of the full hour-long shows, visit thestufffile.com. Stuff is spelled S-T-U-P-H. That's thestufffile.com. A presentation of Flying Fish Communications.